I'm just here until Drake posts a reply, and then I'm leaving because I'm a messy bitch who lives for the drama. Hi, I'm Spike.
I'm Amanda, and I could do without the drama. I'm fine.
And we
Hi,
have a
I'm Essie Case, and I'm D here too. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in front of you.
How
we
dare
have
I'm
a
you?
also
special
here.
guest. We have Iron Circus artist, web cartoonist, cartoonist in general, Essie Case, who is publishing the collected Rigsby, Wisconsin through Iron Circus. It is a web comic about shitty teenagers dealing with admittedly shitty non-teenagers. And I love it. And I'm super excited to be publishing it and getting it a wider audience, the Barnes and Noble crowd. Thank you for joining us, Essie.
Thank you.
So, how's it going?
Good.
How is this your first crowdfund ever?
Yes, I have never done one of these before, so it was very exciting. It was an interesting
Yeah.
process. Yeah.
Yeah, I've said for a while that in my opinion there are two kinds of people who do crowdfunds. Like people who press the launch button and then jump out a window and then run 5 blocks away and never look at it until like the last 2 or 3 days. And people who are sitting there refreshing the page every 3 minutes. Which would
Yeah,
you say
I'm
you are?
I'm the second one. I can't not look. I got to look every single day, every moment.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right
See
on.
what's going on.
And
Keep
thank
an
you
eye
for
on it.
coming, everyone. Hi, Net Fisher. Hi, Alan. Hi, Daryl. Hi, Either Tails. Hi, Nudist. Oh, Amanda, what are you drawing?
Why?
I'm curious. I can't ask.
No, you can't.
People
No,
want to know.
no, I'm joking.
God,
No,
the
I'm
people
do.
want to know.
I updated a bunch of character designs for the webcomic I'm working on, and I have two
Mhm.
characters who got no updates, and I'm like, oh, they look really weird now. So I'm
Yeah,
just
inconsistent.
doodling that
Yeah.
because my other stuff is in penciling fades, and I can't talk to people when I pencil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking too hard about what like the page composition and like fixing stuff, and like I'll just
Mhm.
zone out and ignore everybody.
Mhm.
I have that same problem. I can't even like watch something that I have to just listen to music or listen to nothing because I have to
Yeah.
like concentrate so hard. Otherwise I just get distracted and then it doesn't can't do it.
Now I can do that with pencil cleanup and inking. That's a different story. Pencil cleanup and inking, totally fine.
Because you're not thinking as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the pencils are done, I can just go on autopilot and like do whatever.
By the way, for folks who are wondering, Kel is not with us right now because Kel is traveling, but hopefully they will be back next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
If everything goes well, they'll be
Yeah.
back.
Unless there's some kind of like King Ralph situation. They will be back next week. God, that's a fucking dated reference. No one gets
Yeah, I
that.
have no idea what you're
I don't
talking
know. I
about.
don't know what that means, Spike. What does
Jesus,
that
I'm
mean?
so old. Okay.
Spike, this
King
might have
Ralph.
nothing to do with age. Remember, sheltered.
King Ralph is an extremely subpar film. Sorry for any like King Ralph for lifers out there. That starred John Goodman, and it was basically about how the British royal family, they were all posing for a photo at some point, and they were posing on like wet ground or something. And when the photographer took the picture, every member of the British royal family was electrocuted and died. And
Oh.
Oh,
so,
cool.
in order for there to still be, yeah, right? So, it's a happy story. It's a feel good story. So, in order for there to be a British royal family, they had to go back into like the genealogy archives and try and find somebody with some claim to the British throne. And it was an American named Ralph. And so they showed up on Ralph's doorstep and was like, "Congratulations, you are now the King of England."
Two things.
Fun.
One, that movie
It's
sounds really bad. And number two, you think that that's going to happen to Kel? You think they're going to be turned into British royalty over the weekend?
like
Yeah,
I do
maybe.
not know what's going to happen to anyone anywhere. If there's anything, I'm very Socratean about things these days. Or if there's anything I'm absolutely sure of, it's that I don't know shit. Crazier things have happened.
A good way to be.
But
Well,
Ma'am,
I guess time
no.
will tell.
If Kel does become royalty of some stripe, I'd appreciate it though, because then it could hook me up.
Yeah, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're not going to harass me right now. Okay, bye.
Is
Sorry,
this cat issues?
Ravioli came by, got in my
Palamore said,
face.
I got it. I'm 49. God, I'm 1,000 years old. It's okay though.
Yeah, no,
The French
Ravioli
throne
just
is
came and
available.
yelled in my face and then hopped into her tree. So I guess she's not going to be a deterrent.
Also, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like, kind of fairly recently. Okay, so we all know that, like, the British royal family that we have right now isn't, like, really the British royal family, right?
I don't know. How would I know these things?
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Why would I know
Sorry,
these things?
Who's checking? Who's checking?
All right, functionally, what happened back in the day is they found a German when the actual King of England, when they fucking beheaded him, um, they found a German who had like some kind of like distant relation, and they brought him over and made him king.
So it was
Which
a King
is
Ralph situation.
it was a King Ralph situation. The current monarchs of Great Britain are in a King Ralph situation, and they brought them over, and they're actually German. They did a thing recently where they traced
I thought they were
genealogy
all
and like
related anyway, even across the different countries.
see, but before that, like the only reason royalty is all related is power struggle shit. They don't just like kind of inbreed just to do it. They do it to
Oh.
consolidate power. So they don't start inbreeding until they actually have power to consolidate. So it is not like a hallowed tradition. It's just greed.
Yeah, I thought it was
Also,
like pretty standard practice to like, marry off a bunch of people to like different people in different countries to, get
yeah.
your fingers in a bunch of different pies.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even just European. There's a Japanese family that basically through its female family members marrying through like directed kind of just really focused attempts, they eventually became the royal family of Japan simply because they married so many female members into the royal family of Japan that they could kind of make anything they want happen even though technically there
That's
were
one way
no
to do it.
yeah, that is a very efficient way of doing things, very nonviolent. But where I was going with this is that they traced the genealogy of the family of the guy whose head they cut off, and said like if we were still considering that family the royal family of England of Great Britain, who would be king right now? And they found him. He's like this old Canadian guy. And they're like, "Hey, did you know that if things had gone differently in history, you might be the king of England right now?" And his reaction was just very, "Oh, that's nice." He had no idea because, why would he? But it was kind of amusing because this is apparently news to him. This is brand new information. He'd never known. So he could have been in a King Ralph situation.
All it takes is one tragic photo.
Yeah,
Exactly. Goofy, tragic photo.
Kelly's
but
in the
that's
chat
what.
and they said that they're not royalty yet. So
Oh, hi, Cal. Well, the rulers during war, yeah, they were all cousins. One of the things that's kind of fucked up about what went down kind of pre-World War II, post-World War One, I think, if I'm getting my numbers right. I don't know. I think I am. Yeah, the Tsar of Russia and the King of England were literal cousins, like first cousins. And the Tsar of Russia wrote the King of England and was all like, "Hey, shit's getting kind of weird here. Can we come and crash in the UK for like potentially ever?" And the King of England was originally like, "Yeah, sure." But then like public kind of public opinion and his ministers were all like, "I don't think that's a great idea. Shit is just really fucked up right now." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so there's kind of this alternate history possibility timeline where the King of England actually let his cousin crash at Windsor, and the entire, Russian royal family was not annihilated in a basement somewhere. And there are pretenders to the Soviet, air quotes, throne tooling around Great Britain right now. And I always thought that was like a cute possibility.
Cute.
But even though pretenders are inherently terrible people, everyone, I just want to get that out
I don't
there.
know. Get that
Pretend-
bag.
No, pretenders are garbage human beings.
No, get
Every
that bag.
pretender.
Fuck it.
I know you're not serious.
Why
No,
not?
they're awful.
Get the bag.
If
Okay,
you can pull it off, go for it. Who
Get the
cares?
bag,
No.
Spike.
They're rich
Every
monarchs. Who cares if you like sneak into their ranks?
Yeah, good for them.
You're- no, it's not about sneaking into the ranks of rich monarchs. It's sort of hanging out in the background of democratic and republic countries, going, "Hey, I used to be king of this nation. Wouldn't it be funny if you gave me absolute power again? Just kidding, or am I?" That is what pretenders do,
Okay.
and they're gross. Yeah, they're really fucking gross. They're people who are literally kind of like, it'd be funny if you made me king again. Just kidding, but not really. That's what pretenders do right now. You can they're all on Instagram, like being all like, hey, it'd be funny, haha, but not really, haha. It's super fucking gross.
Do you feel like that's a good voice for them to use if they want to achieve that goal?
That voice on because I focus a lot on Italian pretenders. There are a lot of, for some reason, there's a lot of Italian pretenders. The Russian pretenders are especially gross because there's two different houses of Russian pretenders. Because one house is we would inherit because a law got passed that women aren't allowed to inherit anymore. And another house is like, well, actually, that law is bullshit, so we would inherit. And so that's the thing they disagree on. The one thing they disagree on. The only thing they agree on is Russia should go back to being a fucking empire. And you know what? It's clear that Putin agrees. I'm sorry, I've dragged the conversation down.
Oh,
Effie,
calm yourself. It's
Effie,
fine.
please tell us about Rigsby so I can stop talking about this shit.
Oh, you're gonna make me talk now? Okay.
Sorry, them's the rule.
That's all right. I mean, you kind of explained it at the intro. It's a webcomic about shitty teens doing shitty teen stuff.
I love
But
it.
I don't know. It's a webcomic that I started. Well, I started working on it in 2018, and then it debuted in 2019. And it's I mean, it's kind of about being a young person and growing up in like a rural conservative area in like the early 2000s. And it's kind of like a slice of life coming of age story with like, shitty teens doing silly, stupid, shitty teen things. But kind of under the surface, it's also about, what it's like to be a kid who kind of maybe doesn't, have a lot of direction in life and feels sort of repressed by the society that they live in, and then just also kind of being angry about it. The kids in the book, they all kind of live in precarious situations. So like, Beth lives in foster care with her aunt, and Anna's kind of transient because her mom isn't around a lot. Jordy has a pretty nice home life outside of his home, he doesn't really fit in with like the overtly masculine culture of the town he lives in, and also he's a person of color living in a very white area. So the characters maybe don't always feel like they like have much of a future, and so like the comic as a whole kind of explores the feelings around that. And there's like a bunch of dick jokes and stuff too, so
Naturally.
and trees, if you like trees, there's also a lot of trees. So but yeah, it's set in rural northern Wisconsin, so I think that's a really beautiful area. So that was kind of a draw to illustrate it there, because I could do a lot of rural scenic backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, I find that's a really good way to sort of like get yourself to keep going on a comic when everyone kind of gets to that page where it's like a little bit of a slog. Maybe you weren't thinking clearly. You decided this is going to be the crowd scene page on the urban street.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why God? And it's important to have things that you enjoy drawing to keep you going.
Right.
So, yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. It's like, this is going to be in rural Wisconsin because I love rural Wisconsin.
Right. Well, and also when I started working on it, that's where I was living there, and I kind of I really wanted it to feel pretty authentic and like a real place that you could go. And so I thought, well, I think this is a pretty interesting area. I think it would be an interesting place to grow up, and having like the references for everything like right outside my door really helped me figure out like the scene. And if it was like, well, I don't know where this should happen. Like I would go outside and just like take a picture of something cool near my house and be like, well, that's where that's gonna happen.
Yeah, make it easy on yourself.
Right? Yeah.
So
It's because I'm lazy.
How long do you picture this going for?
Oh Jesus, I don't know. It's hard to say. I have a problem with making things that are way too long.
Oh,
But I did, one thing when I was trying to figure out what this comic was going to be called, because it's kind of a rehashing of my old comic, Cheap Thrills. I was trying to come up with a title for it, and I couldn't. And Rigsby, Wisconsin was sort of like a placeholder title that just sort of morphed into the actual title. And I kind of limited myself with it though, because like I cannot, originally I was like, oh, it'll probably go, until the characters are like young adults, maybe when they're in college or out of college or, just kind of starting their lives. But then, it's like I cannot imagine these kids wanting to continue to live in Rigsby once they're out of school. So I think it's probably going to end, right around the time they graduate. So, maybe there's like 4 chapters left. I'm not sure.
It is true, Slippy. We stand Cheap Thrills in this house.
Everyone.
But hey, so the whole kind of like I can't think of titles of things, so I will use this fake ass placeholder title I feel nothing for. Holy shit, extremely relatable. That is easily the hardest part to me about anything, titles of everything.
Yeah, I suck at titling things. Cheap Thrills is actually named after a Frank Zappa song that I was listening to when I was like, I need a title for this. I was like, Cheap Thrill, done.
Oh.
And it ended up actually kind of working, but...
When I was doing my old webcomic, my little cheat code, my fucking hack, was I just named them all after Clutch songs. I fucking loved Clutch at the time. I still love Clutch. And so I was just like, okay, so book 1 is going to be The Great Outdoors. They're done. I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yep.
Book 2, let me think. Oh, that's going to be The Mob Goes Wild. No problem. Easy. And I don't have to think about it. Great. But when I don't have that fucking crutch, when I don't have that, oh, I'm going to just name it after a song, I have to be like, fuck. And I just end up like, okay, what are the main characters? That's what it's called. Where does it take place? That's what it's called. That's not very inspired. What I'm saying is we suck, both of us.
I mean, Love Me Nice's title just came from that Witch Doctor song.
God, all of these fucking titles come from songs. What's the matter with us?
But mine's from a stupid song.
Yeah.
Mine's from a stupid song.
And I am literally working on a comic as we speak. That's a fucking like placeholder bullshit name.
I picked the song because it was one of the first songs to do the chipmunk effect.
Where they speed it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones to do that.
Nightcore
and
before
it seemed thematically appropriate.
I think it works.
I do too.
Yeah. Titles are bullshit, and who cares?
They are bullshit.
100%.
Call it what you want.
Forget all titles. Eat trash, be free.
Yeah, the webcomic I'm working on now used to have like a title, but like I got told that's not Googleable, and I was like,
That's annoying, isn't it? Having to
you want
that consideration.
Yeah, I got one that's not Googleable. 2, that's a Homestuck AU. I'm like, we can't live our lives based off Homestuck and what it did.
Guess what is not Googleable at all? My fucking name. No, my fucking name. You Google my name, you come up with iPhone SE cases. You Google SE case comics, you come up with iPhone SE cases with comics on them.
Nice.
Like, goddamn it, they need to stop making that fucking phone.
I thought they did. Oh no, I guess they did.
No, it still exists, and they're still making cases for it.
Oh no!
My condolences.
Yeah, I have talked to, as a publisher, I have meetings with creators, and one of the things that occasionally needs to come up is we cannot call it that. And I wish the reason was not because Google won't like you if we call it that, but that's what I have to explain to people. Like, we had a book that we recently published that we fucking love, which is brilliant and amazing, and everyone should go buy right now, called Mage. And we had to have this whole conversation where it was all like, as far as comic books are concerned, the name Mage is taken. And it was taken by someone who was drawing a comic named Mage years before you were self-aware. And I know that's bullshit because it's a generic word, but we can't simply call the comic Mage, so you need a subtitle. And that's where we came up with Mage and the Endless Unknown, and it's very good, everyone.
I feel like the argument that like you can't call something because you can't Google it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Google is like unusable now anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I will say, now that I have changed the name, I do like it better. It's really just it's character's main comment. It's character's main name plus a thing that literally happens in the comic.
Called, what's the new name?
Parima and the Loom on the Horizon.
Oh, hey, that is.
Well, there you go.
So it worked out. It worked out.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Also,
The
it's
comic
punny and stupid.
The comic that I'm drawing right now has that placeholder name Blacata because all right, this is like my second crack at this comic. I should note this. This is my second crack at it, and when it was originally being done, it was called Blacata because there was a conlang and Blacata meant something in their conlang. And now that conlang is recognized as bullshit and bad, and I don't use it anymore. But I can't come up with a better name than Blacata, so the name of the fucking comic makes no sense and doesn't mean anything. That's how good I am at this.
Hey, as long as it's you got something, you have something
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Also,
Titles are bullshit and it doesn't matter.
I recently realized that this one right here, I mean, this is a bad page to point this out on, but I saw a picture of Fievel from American Tail, and now I can't unsee it.
Huh?
Okay.
What?
You're good. Oh,
Huh?
okay.
Is one of your characters a Jewish mouse? What do you mean?
Okay, I'm gonna fucking
Explain,
find-
please.
Please.
Yeah, I have to find. Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, so. Okay, so all right, here we are. So, can I paste it in? All right, so this is Fievel from An American Tail.
I've seen the mouse.
We all know what the mouse looks like.
We all know the mouse. We know the mouse. But
We're all aware of Fievel Mousekowitz.
Fievel, who goes west and becomes a
Yeah.
cowboy, I should know.
Yep.
Fievel Mousekowitz is more than the little...
As a young mouse does.
Like the mouse pogroms.
He left the mouse pogroms and is now a cowboy.
Yeah, like...
Classic American story.
I was just fucking minding my business. And I just, like, this image popped into my head.
It's the hat. It's just the hat.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Just the hat.
I know, but he's also like hairy with a snout. So it's just one of those things, and he's like, he kind of has the same like clothes too. So it's just one of those things now where it's like, fuck. Like I look at him and I just think Fievel Mousekowitz. And if I were a less mature person, this would be enough to cause me to redesign. But fortunately, I'm old and don't give a shit anymore.
See, for me, I would just lie and say, "Oh, that was on purpose. It's a reference."
Yeah.
Totally.
It's a reference to Fievel.
No, the little murderer is not a reference to Fievel.
I know. That's why I said I would lie.
He's the Fievel of his land.
He's the exactly.
Because when you lie about character building stuff like that, it then gets people to like it throws them off the trail. Like, yeah, sure, that's a reference. And then they look for stuff that's not there, and you're like, no, I lied.
Fievel's face. Yeah,
it's okay to lie.
It's like when I thought to myself, like Kel first started calling them Keebler elves because they lived in a tree, and I thought that was just funny. But now this one in particular, this just
because they look like elves and they live in a tree.
Yeah, so this just haunts me. It fucking haunts me. Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's just get this off the screen, shall we? Back to what I was doing.
Oh no, I'm hungry. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Eat something.
Don Bluth is coming. I have such mixed Don Bluth feelings, but
everyone does.
Yeah, I think so. So I want him. Hmm, I
You have to
want.
finish that sentence.
Yeah. Or don't. I mean, if that's how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not judging.
I'm glad that you were able to feel comfortable expressing your feelings here, Spike. You
I,
want Don Bluth.
I want him. I want to like his stuff more than I do. That is the best way I can put it. I want to like his work more than I do.
Sure. I get it.
I think I like his stuff just enough.
It's I like the idea of the renegade animation studio that flipped off Disney and rode off into the sunset to do its own thing and then scored a big win with, Miss Brisby and the Rats of Nim, and it's like, "Oh, cool." I like to fantasize they had a more sort of Pixar story arc than they did. That would have been,
Are werewolves therefore elves, Kel?
yeah.
What is
So, yeah.
happening in the chat?
What? They
Because
got
they
them.
have pointy ears. Yeah.
Werewolves don't always have the pointy ears.
Yeah. Yeah, All Dogs Go to Heaven and Land Before Time is one of those things where, what's the best way to put this? Every once in a while you run into that situation where you like something and then something associated with it is so bad it makes you not like anything that came before that thing that made you hate it. Like the best way to describe it is when you watch the old school 70s and 80s Star Wars movies and you like them, but then if you were waiting in line at midnight to watch the second trilogy and you watch them and they were really bad, it makes you actually like the 70s 80s trilogy less than you did. And that is how
Is
I
that how it
feel
works
about
for you?
it. That is how it works for me.
It makes you just like question, like, what if this was actually bad the whole time and I didn't know it?
Ah.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of what it is.
Let me
you're-
revisit these movies and see if there's another Jar Jar in there.
Or you're like me and Wreck-It Ralph 2 never happened. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Don't worry about it. Never happened. We don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I feel that way about a few things. A few things. Or it's like, wow, isn't it crazy that that band never put out another album ever? Isn't it crazy that that movie or that anime series stopped right there at that one at, episode 2 and never went on? Isn't that crazy? Because like this is all because of Land Before Time, where I remember watching it as a kid and really liking it. And then Jenny Nicholson informed me
They made a lot of sequels.
like 15 more Land Before
Yeah.
Time movies.
Don't watch any of them.
See, I was
Ooh.
surprised. I guess because of my childhood, I was surprised that more people didn't know about them.
No.
Because as the oldest of 6, it was one of those, it's time to shut everybody up. It's Land Before Time time.
Let's all watch Land Before Time 25. Just be quiet for a while.
But here's the other thing. Okay, they're not good, but there are far worse things a kid could be watching.
That's true.
They're pretty.
That is absolutely true.
I'm going to be real. They're pretty charming. No, they are not as good as the original movie, but I think they're pretty charming for what they are.
Yeah, but in my old age, I'm coming to kind of understand that, not everything has to reach for the stars. And that sounds like anathema to like, little bright-eyed 20-year-olds who want to dominate their fields when they grow up. But no, sometimes you make Land Before Time 12. And that's okay because there is clearly demand for Land Before Time 12.
Yeah.
Frankly, there need to be more things catering to children who like big dinosaurs, children and adults who like the big dinosaurs, but don't necessarily want to be scared by them or shoot them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It just, God, that makes me sound like so old, but it's true.
How did that make you old?
Well, it makes me sound like I've given up, but I haven't. I'm just sort of acknowledging. Like, maybe you don't want to spend
that sounds like growth to me, not giving up.
Like, maybe you don't want to spend your whole fucking career making Land Before Time movies. Maybe you don't want to do that, but just because they're not revolutionary, Academy Award winning tour de forces doesn't mean they don't deserve to exist. And that kind of reflects how I've come around on really self-indulgent fan fiction in my old age too. Because it's like I used to be like, "Oh fuck, what is this trash?" But now it's like, you know what? If someone wants to write a 14,000 word epic on how Samus Aran is their wife and they love each other very, very much, and this gives them happiness and comfort, and for some reason known only to themselves, they also want to share it. That's fine.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them.
Find
Good
your
for them
audience.
and their
They're out there.
waifu Samus Aran epic. Their Russian novel of keeping house with Samus Aran in the frozen rings of Saturn. Not everything needs to be Tolstoy. Dinotopia slaps, very true. PB&J movies, yeah.
I don't know what I like better, but I'll just draw until I find something I like the most.
Drawing one of those pages I've been waiting a long time to get to, and folks who are
Nice.
regulars in the stream will recognize that. This is the page where we find out about Ta's sex and gender identity in the same panel, which I'm very proud of figuring out, and it feels very naturalistic. So I'm also proud of that.
Spike, I have a question.
Yes.
So if I'm remembering correctly, Ta is not is like kind of a non-binary, like third gender, right?
Yeah.
So they were
Ta.
born female. They have that pouch on their chest.
Yep.
Because there are never any babies in there, does Ta ever just like keep a snack in there, like like a little bag of Doritos or something that they can just like pull out and snack on? Or like whatever the Blacata universe version of Doritos is.
The best way
Cool
to
Ranch Dorito.
describe what Ta is if Ta were a human being on normal, recognizable human Earth, they would have a tattoo of the monster logo, and they would wear tap-out clothes, and they would unironically own a Limp Bizkit CD. And they would definitely have a bag of Doritos in their pouch.
Good.
But the
Cool Ranch or nacho cheese?
Yeah, they would absolutely. You know what? I take it back. It wouldn't be Doritos. It
Hey!
would be
They have
Takis.
spicy Doritos now.
It
Spicy
would be
ranch.
Takis.
Yep.
It would be the blue Takis.
They're not as hot.
Disgusting.
They're just blue. They're not even as hot.
Yeah, but Ta is very easy to please. And keep in mind, Ta is young, so they have more taste buds than old farts like us. So the blue Takis might be just hot enough for it. But yeah.
God, I'm hungry.
Ta is third gender, and I'm excited that I finally get to fucking talk about it. And it's world building, so I love it. It's world building rules. Like that's why I'm doing my bullshit fake ass universe here. Not just to talk about, revolution and how regularly it disappoints and betrays the people who buy into it, but also so I could do fun, weird crap. So, because again, if you're not going to have fun, what's the point?
That's the point of all comics, to do fun, weird crap.
Exactly. Can I ask you a question, Essie? Can I just
yes,
really real?
Sure.
How do you feel about the current state of webcomics? This is a safe
not great. But I mean, I don't know. I'm really not a fan of Webtoon. I think I've made that pretty clear. I stopped updating there because I guess the thing that really pushed me over the edge was seeing Rigsby referred to as a Webtoon series, and I was like, "Fuck you! No, it isn't."
Yeah.
Just like I guess, like I think Webtoon is just kind of a terrible company, and like I think there are ways to use it that don't necessarily allow it to um, what's the word I'm looking for, exploit you, but at the same time, like I don't know, for me, like because I was uploading Rigsby to the Canvas section of Webtoon for a while just to try to get like some more readers and stuff. And at some point, I had to just sort of like look at it and be like, what benefits am I getting from this versus what benefits are they getting from this? I don't know that I'm getting that much benefit from it, but they're getting like free content for their shitty website.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't really want to be a part of that. I don't have to. There's no good reason for me to be. I think it's false that like if you want to have a following that you have to be on Webtoon. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like kind of gross seeing like tech bro VC
Yes.
dudes like kind of try to burrow into this space that like I always felt like was pretty independent and pretty cool, and people just kind of did what they wanted, and some people were really successful in it, and other people weren't so successful, but it didn't matter. Like all of the stuff that was being created was 100% somebody's own vision without a bunch of corporate influence, and kind of now that's going away, and that makes me sad. That makes me really sad.
I absolutely have seen kids, and keep in mind I'm 45, everybody. So when I say kids, I mean people in their 20s. It's not meant in a mean way. It's just what my brain is doing. I see kids basically publicly trying to figure out how to change the output of their comic
Yeah.
so that it's something that Webtoon might be more interested in paying them to make. And I just think to myself, if you're going to do something you don't actually enjoy for the money, like just fucking get a job at like,
Right, get a day job.
yeah, get a job in an office, like fucking push papers for a living.
Yeah.
It'll pay better and you won't look back in 20 years going, ugh.
I
It's like
said it before, I'll
Right.
say it
Yeah.
again. I can be miserable working literally anywhere else but comics and end up making more money, even if it's a McDonald's.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like,
It's
yeah, that's part of why I have a day job. I have a full-time day job in an office, and like I would rather do that and, the comic that I want to do versus having to make something that I hate and have my name on it and make a whole bunch of money.
yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. And I get we're all trying to survive capitalism and all, as I'm so fond of saying, but you don't want to be in that place where when I was in art school, one of the things they said is the mistake when people aren't building their portfolio is they go for variety and they go, okay, so I'm going to have this 3 point perspective cityscape, and I'm going to have this exploded view of a car engine, and I'm going to have this landscape, and then I'm going to have this scientific diagram, and then I'm going to have this anatomical drawing. Therefore, when I show it to people, they'll say, "Oh, good, they can do everything." And like, no, that's not what they'll think. What they'll think is, "Oh, good, they can do this one thing I want them to do," and there's a decent chance the one thing they want you to do, potentially for years, is a thing you didn't particularly enjoy doing.
right.
So if you get hired by Ford to illustrate their catalogs with those exploded views of V8 engines, I sure hope that was the drawing you enjoyed. Because now
Yeah.
you're going to be paid kind of crappily to draw shit you hate for years.
Yeah. If you fucking hated doing it, then don't put it in your portfolio.
Exactly. And I see that in comics now. It's like, no, no, they have a heart stopper. You don't need to make another heart stopper. Honest.
Unless you
By the
just
way,
want to.
unless you
Yeah. I
want
mean,
to.
unless that's your true vision,
Yeah, but I'm
like
talking about
Heartstopper
something that
Part
feels
2.
way more calculated than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, somebody said something where on Blue Sky recently that just kind of made me feel sad, but go like, yeah, they're absolutely right. For folks who don't care about this kind of shit and therefore aren't aware of it, Webtoon is about to debut on the New York Stock Exchange, which means it's about to make a bunch of money really fast, which means a certain kind of person is going to start caring way more about comics than they ever have. And
Unfortunate.
yeah, so we're about to weather a bit of a storm, and this is very cyclical. This happens in comics from time to time. It happened after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles turned big too, but this is going to be sort of the latest incarnation of this because all this certain kind of person is going to see is Webtoons is going to make like $500 million in one day and get a unicorn valuation. And any article that mentions it is also going to mention, by the way, you know that Netflix show Heartstopper? That used to be an online comic too. And next thing you know, fucking incubators and shit, or Y Combinator or somebody is going to start poking around with unbelievably horrible contracts and trying to convince like 22-year-olds that they can be the next Heartstopper or the next End of the fucking world or the next Invincible. And it sucks. And
I
it's going to
think I
happen,
like that.
and it's going to fuck somebody over. And it's just kind of one of those things you can't really do anything about it except inoculate someone against it by pointing out, hey, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think I reached a design I like.
Good.
Now to move on to
Gotta
something
cultivate that aggressive unpopularity. Tell me all about it, Nudist. I recommend drawing esoteric black and white comics about Fievel Mouskowitz and his Keebler elf friends. But yeah, I already kind of constantly navigate a landscape where a comic that never becomes a movie is seen as a failure. And it's like, no, comics can exist on their own terms, and I will prove it to you. Even though I am saying this as a person who has literally made a comic into a cartoon. But that's because I wanted to, so there.
That's different, Spike.
Yeah.
I'm different. I'm one of the good ones.
I'm special.
I'm special. But yeah, I talked about this not to like be weird about all this shit, but I talked about this a little bit on Blue Sky because without getting into business that is like nobody's business really. The landscape of media is extremely fucking strange right now. Extremely strange. And when you do a little digging, you kind of understand why. And part of it is network television and cable television are actively dying. Like they're terminal. There is no coming back from where they are. And they are trying to figure out how not to die. And so if TV feels like it's worse than it used to be and lower quality and not as nice, and everyone on who makes TV seems like they're a bunch of cowards and all they keep doing is doing reboots, that is because they have no money. And I read something that's like since 2013, so just over 10 years, there's been a 60% drop in net profit at major networks. 60%. So imagine in 2013, if you were making $100,000 a year, today you would be making $40,000 a year. And that would change your lifestyle for sure. So it's changing things over at like NBC Universal too. And one of the things that I kept hearing was just like, yeah, everybody's really poor right now. Nobody's buying anything. Everybody's really poor. And you hear that shit all the time. Like half of the Hollywood rumor mill is just voodoo. You know, it's just like, oh, I hear shows that are about college campuses weren't selling this year. Like, bitch, from who? Who told you that? It's like, oh, it's just what I've heard. I've heard that nobody wants college campus shows anymore. Again, like, did you read this in the tea leaves? I thought this was more of that. But no,
Hey, chat. Black sleeves, no sleeves.
it's really what's happening. TV is dying. And that is one of those things I'm kind of like forced to care about these days. Like, if your characters are based on the American Tail characters, does that mean Dan Olson is going to make a video about an awful video game with them in it one day? We can sack of books. That would be the dream. That would be the dream.
I mean, we have to make the video game first.
We'd have to make the. Oh, speaking of video games, so Iron Circus is going to do the video game fairly soon, and I have this design doc that is idiotic and humiliating, and I am going to not tell anyone about what's in it because I'm super excited to actually see if it's possible and finally getting it together. This is the last I'm going to speak of it because I don't want to like talk about what's in it or anything. But it's been an important element of my personal growth because it has permitted me to admit I cannot do everything and I need to delegate. Because I was originally approaching game dev like, oh well, I have to learn programming. And it's like, when? When do you have time to learn programming? While you are running the business, you're going to learn programming. No, you're not. And I was like, no, I can do it. It'll be easy. And the thing is, after a few years, I have learned some programming, yes. But it will take a few years more to fucking be useful at it. Like I'm not good at it right now. I can follow a tutorial, I can do basic shit. I can make a little stick man in Blender, but that's garbage. That's not, is this really what I need to be spending my time on? No. I should find somebody who is already good at this.
Lackadaisy cover-based shooter incoming.
Oh god.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, Kel McDonald. I made one of the video games. Yes, Kel did. They made one of the video games we are offering, but we're not gonna say anything. We're not gonna say anything. It's a secret.
I am hungry. I'm gonna mute and go rummage for food. I will be back.
Oh, please, no, come and chew in our ear really loudly. That would be good. I'd like that.
I mean, I'm gonna do that. I just have to get
Oh,
the food
good,
first.
good. Whew, I was concerned.
By the way, Essie, who is that in your profile? Would you mind telling folks? Like your avatar here.
Beautiful baby boy?
Yeah.
Yep, that's my Blorbo, Frank. You all know who Frank is. He's a giant hairless dog man, and he does a lot of drugs and he does a lot of nasty things and he likes setting things on fire. And he's also in Rigsby as a much more normal man, but only a little bit.
Not really.
No, not really. I guess not. I had to like tone him down pretty significantly, I felt like, for Rigsby, because it just, some of the stuff doesn't land when it's not a giant dog man.
But fortunately, he does enough terrible, strange, uncomfortable things that it will land no matter what he is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like have sex with produce.
Right. He has sex with a watermelon. He sets a car on fire. Or, spoilers, he will set a car on fire. Shit. It's fine. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, I can deeply relate to having like this one garbage character, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna draw this dude doing garbage.
My favorite type of character is just a dude who sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking love
it's like a guy who's just like a piece of crap, but you love him for some reason.
Yes, God. Oh, I love that. I don't even know why. I love that. I love that. I love garbage men characters.
Gross boys.
Gross, disgusting, useless guys. I love them.
Yeah.
And it's
me too.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like. I wonder why, because it's like we're not alone, A lot of people have that.
A lot of people love gross boys, and it's just nobody knows why.
Like if they were real, you'd be like, ew. You'd be like a Karen on the phone to the cops right away, but you want to like draw stupid little stories about them all day.
I know. They're just so fun. They're so interesting. And I think like for me, like Frank is like also an extension of my personality, just like the part of me that just wants to like fuck off from society,
and do unacceptable things.
Yeah, just like I'm gonna, I don't know. I was gonna say have sex with a watermelon, but I don't want to say that I would do that. But
anything's possible if you put your mind to it.
I don't want to.
You're not a coward.
No.
But yeah, I think honestly, for me, like personally, with Blokada, like I opened the comic with this guy. This isn't the greatest shot to use because it's his back. But I opened the comic with that guy literally murdering someone.
Sure.
And my mission whenever I'm like doing my stupid drawings of garbage men is I'm going to make you like him.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you like him so much. I'm going to show you what a terrible person he is, and then I'm going to make you go, aw.
Yeah, you're gonna say that's my favorite character, and people are gonna say why, and you're gonna say because he's terrible and awful and disgusting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm doing a comic right now with a cartoonist named Meg Gandy. And Meg is drawing from a script I wrote, and she is turning in pages as like kind of on a weekly basis. And every time a new page shows up in the inbox, I'm so fucking thrilled because they're working on the part where the shitty male character is being especially creepy. And I'm all like, oh, everyone's gonna hate him so much. This is great.
I do get really excited every time you share those pages because they are fantastic.
Oh, is it Meg so talented?
She's
Oh,
so great.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad those pages are coming through. I can't wait. I don't even know what we're gonna do with them. Oh, Kel, if you're still in here, um, do you think we can talk about the thing that we plan to do for Iron Circus, where people can read Iron Circus comics for free? We'll just see if they are still in here, if they answer. Because I like, since I run the fucking company, I get to make dumb choices about the comics that I write. So a dumb choice might be made about Lucas and Odessa, which is again, coming back around to I don't know how to fucking title things. It's just the two characters' names. There we go, Lucas and Odessa. Oh, cool. Kel says, yeah, Kel thinks it's a good idea. I won't be ruining anything. Yeah, on the sort of the long view of Iron Circus is we decided we need an app. If Shonen Jump has an app, we need an app too, god damn it. And one of the things that I thought would be pretty cool is if we could put comics on the app that, people can't read any other way. And it'd be neat if Lucas and Odessa premiered on the Iron Circus app and everyone could read it for free. Wouldn't that be nice? It would make
I would
people
like
happy.
that,
Yeah.
but I would also pay for it. So
Yeah. So that it's like running ICC is just like this balancing act between we have to try new things and we have to not be stupid. And the app thing clearly works. Also, Kels thinks that we should put it on like the old internet site, and I agree with that too. I think that we should put comics to read on ironcircus.com. Comics where, no horrible contracts were involved. I have incredibly mixed feelings about the current state of webcomics myself, because I'm glad that they have kind of come into their own, but simultaneously, I really fucking hate the kind of people who helped it come into their own, even though their appearance was inevitable.
yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? I erased this entire thing. I'm just drawing mindlessly now. No, I'm actually redoing this entire panel. So you said you have
Redoing a thing.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
I'm drawing right now. I'm trying. This is the only time I really get to draw my stupid webcomic. And part of the
Yeah.
reason that I like doing this show is, it basically forces me to draw my comic because I still have that little voice that's all like, there are a million other things you need to do. So I don't know why you're doing
Okay, I'm
this.
back. Sorry that took so long. Someone's demon cat wanted to eat sour cream.
Fantastic. Can I join your web ring? Fuck! I wish web rings were still a thing.
People are doing them actively. Lots of people with webcomics have been making web rings. It's not hard to do, and when I launch mine, I'm making a web ring.
Really? What's the theme of it going to be?
Probably just like cute furry characters.
Okay. Oh, I wonder about the efficacy of a web ring in the modern day.
It's cute. It's a nice way to recommend your shit to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be like a viable marketing tactic, but it'd be a nice thing to do with your friends.
Yeah. I think I'm a part of like one web ring, and I don't know that I've ever really gotten any traffic from it, but it doesn't hurt me at all to be a part of it, so why not?
Yeah, they're easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad I don't have any friends.
Hey!
Yeah.
Lonely at the top, Spike.
Yeah, this is me DJ Khaleding. Fucking
While I'm basically almost 4 times a week outside your apartment blaring my little boombox trying to get you to eat lunch with me.
in your trench coat.
Basically, I work very, very close to where Spike lives, and I'm constantly like, Spike, come eat lunch with me. And Spike's
I'm like,
too
"Nah."
busy.
Standing
Look.
out there throwing tiny rocks at her window.
I could do it.
Real talk, like, it is not unusual for me to have 4 meetings in one day and for at least one of those meetings to go 3 hours.
No, I understand. But one,
By the time that's all over with, I don't want to talk to fucking anybody.
no, I understand. I'm just saying. You
Oh,
have friends,
yeah,
and they're
I
throwing
do.
pebbles at your window.
I do have. Actually,
You just reject them.
I do. I do. I'm really bad at having friends. Which reminds me, hey Amanda, how would you feel about driving to Wisconsin to go to a safari?
Ooh, what's safari?
When?
No, sometime this like spring or summer. There's this new safari park opening up in Wisconsin that's like an hour and a half from Chicago.
My car's having trouble, but if I get it fixed in time for when you want to go, hell yeah.
That might be fun. Otherwise, let's go to the zoo. The Chicago Zoo is actually pretty good. The lions are legit scary.
I have never been yet.
Are they real mad all the
They-
time?
The boy there, at least the last time I went, the boy lion, the head of the pride there, he actually liked to roar. And a thing that kind of doesn't translate if you've never been in the same room as a roaring lion is you can feel it in your bones.
Ooh,
That
Yeah.
sounds cool.
It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
nice.
Like,
I want
it's
to
not
feel it in my
a
bones.
noise you'd want to hear in a non-zoo setting. But yeah, in the morning he does his morning, cock-a-doodle-doo roar, I guess.
Have
is
you
the
done
best
Shed
way to-
Aquarium? No, I really want to. Me and
Oh, Shed fucking
Oh,
slaps.
Shed Aquarium. What?
Shed is the best.
Yeah.
me and
I haven't been there in
girlfriend,
a long
me and
time,
girlfriend
but it is
talk
good.
about wanting to pet stingrays. I want to pet the sting. Are they stingrays or manta rays? I don't know, but I want to pet them.
They're definitely stingrays because manta rays are fucking huge.
I
Well,
want
they're
to
rays of some
pet
kind. I
'em.
don't know if they have stingers on them.
And Field Museum, have you seen Sue?
Not yet. I want to.
Sue is great. I love Sue.
I heard they spiffed up her exhibit.
They did. They gave her her belly ribs, her gastric ribs.
I want to see.
Yeah, I saw those. I was there last year. It was pretty cool. I took my daughter there. She was really excited about all the dinosaurs. She had a great time.
Field is a real good museum. Shed is a real good aquarium. And the Art Institute is a real good museum too. And if you've never been, Amanda, fuck, you know what? This summer we should like fucking go to the Museum of Contemporary Art and sneer at
Yes,
everything.
please.
Let's sneer at shit. You want to
I
sneer
don't.
at shit?
I don't want to sneer.
Oh, you will sneer.
Okay, then maybe I'll sneer.
It's the Museum of Contemporary Art. You're gonna sneer.
You don't know me like that, apparently.
I actually do. You're gonna
So you
sneer.
think I'll? Okay then. You know, I trust you. I trust you. I'll expect some
Oh.
sneers.
Yeah. But they have free days at the museum. By the way, 1 hour. No, wait. Is it 1 hour left? Let me check at the.
Yes.
We actually make a point of fucking promoting the crowdfund, shouldn't we?
Buy the book. It's cheap. Do it. It's good.
Everybody, this is volume 1 of Rigsby, and Rigsby is such a fun comic. It's so beautifully written. It's so beautifully drawn. I'm so excited that we get to be the ones who publish it and bring it to a larger audience. The characters are so fucking relatable. I have been debating back and forth all night about mentioning this because I think it's my favorite part of book 1. But I'm going to mention it anyway.
Oh, you're roboting for me. Is Spike roboting?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Spike, you were just about to give me a lot of praise. I need you to come back. Shit.
Now we'll never know.
Her little VTuber head is still bobbling, so I think she's talking right now.
Could be.
Maybe.
Well, also, that the stream is on a slight delay because it takes a while.
That's true.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There's a delay. I'm going to hang up and come back.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Test.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you
Sorry,
still
everyone.
drawing?
Yes, I'm going to
Okay.
go live there. But yeah, there. Rigsby is lovely and beautiful, and I like it a lot. The writing is very clever. The art is very pleasing. The pacing is very wonderful. There is a scene I was debating. Like, I don't want to spoil it because it's so fun to read it for the first time, but I'm going to spoil it.
Do it.
There is a part in the book where a main character is forced by a not great parent to double dose on their very very of the era kid amphetamines, and they kind of have to navigate the day with a double dose of their Adderall or what have you. And I just that felt so fucking real and so fucking
Yeah.
like, oh, definitely happened multiple places. And,
As a millennial who grew up in Texas, a lot of this is very
yeah.
it's obviously very far away and yet very familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really love that whole bit because like, oh my god, yes, absolutely. It felt very
Spike, I
good.
totally told you that I was put on when I was in high school. I was put on weight loss medications that got recalled.
Was this the Fen
Were you
Fen
on like
stuff?
I don't
Fen?
remember. I just remember they got recalled, and
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
did.
supposed to be on them anyway because I was a minor. But
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
an
when
off-label
parents
use.
lie, they can get lots of things.
Wouldn't Fen didn't that like make your heart explode or something?
A few of
When
them
Um,
the
did a
the Fen
few
Fen thing.
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mentioned this before at some point when I was talking to Amanda, but basically, one of the Fens by itself, if you were just taking that, that's fine. The other Fen by itself, if you were just taking that, that was fine, which is why everyone thought it was okay for you to take both. But if you took them both together long term, it basically ate your heart valves.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it did. And yeah, that fucking killed you. And in a lot of cases, it was not fixable.
That's how you lost all that weight. You lost all that extra heart valve tissue.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I
In
remember
my
that
case, you
because
just vibrated on the spot till you lost
Sure.
weight.
Yeah.
but a lot of women, they got together and they did a class action type thing because, of course, it was mostly women this happened to.
Yeah.
And they won a lot of money. There
Mm-hmm.
were Fen millionaires, but the thing is, then they all died like 3 years later because they didn't have any heart valves left. And they would organize like Fen survivor cruises, and someone would always die actually on the cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
It
that's
was just
so
a very
grim.
fucked up weird scene. Fucked up weird scene.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because I was watching like Good Morning America on the weekends, around then as a kid in the suburbs. And that's one of the things they would talk about. It's like, yay, we won our class action suit, except we're all basically still
But
doomed.
we're still gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. And I remember that is when my dad was a medical doctor, and he's retired now, but he was a medical doctor, and he always instilled that thing in me, and I think it might have been Fen. He said it to me twice during my childhood, and once might have been during when Fen was happening, and the second time was laser eye surgery when people started first getting LASIK. He said, any new medical technology, if you want it, wait 10 years and see how it's going over.
Nudist in the
So,
chat says, "Who needs valves anyway?" Oh, I'm just getting where we all need the valves.
oh, excuse me, wait, we all need valves. But yeah. So every time something exciting comes over the hill, I'm just like, okay. In 10 years, I will absolutely check that out. Let's see how that's going.
Yeah.
And this even has kind of like reflected into, like, I like it when people tattoo their eyes. And yeah, I know how that sounds. I know. I like people who tattoo their eyes all black. I think that's a really cool look. But I kind of have this rule where it's all like, we literally don't know what that does. We don't know.
Well,
So,
we know that it makes you look cool.
if
So
you turn 55 and you still want to tattoo the sclera of your eyeballs, okay. But you can't do that now.
but what if it's only safe when your eyes are young and supple?
I know, right?
Then you missed your chance.
Oh no! Oh, you just missed the cutoff. We can
Back when
only
my
tattoo
eyes We're pliable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
54-year-old eyeballs and above. Sorry. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Now
You
they're
got to
just
stick with
like
your standard eyeballs for the rest of
now
your
they're just
life.
like hard marbles.
Yeah. God, one of the fucking things that actually haunts me is I saw this interview with a woman who got her eyeball tattooed. And I should note this is not the typical eyeball tattooing experience, but you know, it is within the realm of possibility. So be aware. Yeah, she got a massive infection and went blind in the eye, and the eye was also very, we'll go with aesthetically non-pleasing after
Mm.
all was said and done. And she kind of had like to mean mug about it. She had to like pretend it wasn't a big deal. She was now blind in one eye with this like wretched, scarred, sagging, opaque, milky eyeball. And she's like, "Oh, it was an experience, and I now have a story to tell people." It's like, no, that's what you say when you go to King's Dominion, not when you lose use of an organ. It was an experience, and I have a story to tell people. No,
She
you got
wanted
fucking
this to happen.
yeah, exactly.
Quick
This was
question.
this was the desired outcome right here.
What is
Yeah.
King's Dominion?
Oh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, you're Southern. King's Dominion is a theme park.
Okay.
It is a very fun. East Coast represent. King's Dominion is a very good theme park. When I was growing up, it was the best theme park in the area. It was a literal 4-hour drive away. We went maybe twice, and it was fucking rad. Shout out to everyone else in the like fucking tri-state, Virginia, Maryland, DC kind of area. King's Dominion.
Oh no, I'm
I would
covered
pay a
in
monthly fee to subscribe to YouTube.
I'm covered in pico de gallo. Help.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is good.
Yeah. 1 hour left, everyone. 1 hour. You should definitely grab Rigsby because it's really good and it's only book 1 of the entire series. If you grab it right now, you can also grab assorted books that we also think you'd like John Allen's Julian in Purgatory and The Lonesome Era, which quite frankly I think are the most slept on books in the entire fucking Iron Circus catalog.
They're great,
They
and you
are.
should buy them.
Yes, you should, everyone. Also, SC, you are an Eisner winner, aren't you?
Technically,
Yes, you are. Because remember, folks,
yes, I won an Eisner Award.
SE was in You Died, which was our first Eisner winning title. You Died is based on an idea I just randomly fucking came up with, and we have a story by SE in You Died, and it's one of my favorite stories in there.
Oh, thank you.
What is it about?
Well, it's about a woman who she's on her deathbed, and it kind of opens with she's laying in her deathbed, and her wife is there, and they have a young daughter who's like 2, and the daughter wants wants her mom to read her laptop user manual as a story, which is something I like putting in there because that was something that I always had to do for my kid. Like she would find random shit and just want me to read it to her. But then it kind of switches over to the main character Amy's perspective. She's the one who's dying, and it sort of fades, into her mind, and you see her get up off of the hospital bed, and then she sees a old friend of hers from high school, and she's like this. Her name is Darcy, and she's like this scene kid with like those stripy arm warmers and like the big scene hair, and yeah, it's just it's Amy talking to Darcy, and she can't quite figure out if she's a figment of her imagination, or like a ghost, or like a hallucination that she's having because she's dying. But basically, she and Darcy talk, and they have kind of this funny conversation, and they, she kind of helps Amy kind of move through death. So
Yeah, I love that story because, like, what Darcy is all right, first of all, she's extremely dated in a really fun way. Like, like we all remember those like pictures of those scene kids with the raccoon tail hair that was
Uh-huh.
like really enormous.
I love you
and,
say the pictures like I didn't know them.
and the well, they're a little past my time, so I only saw them in pictures. And
You
there
only
was a
heard
very
tales of them.
the tales of the Seton children. Yeah. And they had a very distinct look, and this character has that look, and it's like extremely dated, so it stands out. And Darcy, it should be noted, Darcy is dead. Darcy has been dead.
Right, yes. She's dead.
Yeah, and
I
that's
forgot
why
to mention
Darcy
that.
looks like that. That's what Darcy looked like when she died.
Yeah, she died in a car crash when they were in high school.
Yeah. And Amy is sitting there like, so are you like a psychopomp? Or are you my brain dying? Are you a ghost? And Darcy is just like, does it matter?
She's like, I don't know. I don't care.
No. And every once in a while, Amy tries to figure out, like, are you real? And Darcy's like, dude, this is your hallucination. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I? I just love that. I love that. It was so good. Nudist, thank you for backing. We super appreciate it. And Kel, yes, Kel is the editor of You Died. I should note that even though it's my idea and I published it, I do not have a fucking Eisner trophy for You Died, even though I should.
Well, neither do I, Spike.
Yeah, so I'm like you, like you.
I still want to see if we can commission someone to like 3D print little ones.
No, I can literally go to the Eisner committee and request one.
I think it'd be cute.
Yeah, but it's like it's.
Yeah, I want a little mini one for my desk.
Yeah.
That would rule.
I just, honestly, if you want to hear something incredibly like shut the fuck up, Spike,
I can't say that I do, but
the way I think about it is there will be other Eisners.
Sure. That's right.
I'm not going anywhere. There will be others.
I like how you said that like it was like threatening.
It is. That is a threat and a promise.
There will be other Eisners.
There will be other. It's like I remember years ago. There's a comics journalist of significant renown who I was just getting to know in my late 20s, and she said, when I was talking about Eisners and how they kind of felt kind of like weird and impossible and unreachable, she's like, you will get one. And I was like, oh, that's very sweet of you. And she's like, no, that's not me being sweet. That's just a fact. You will get one because eventually everyone gets one. It's not about you being special or different. If you stick around in comics long enough, you'll get an Eisner. And I was like, oh, it's actually kind of
cool.
comforting.
Good to know.
Yeah. And that's kind of proven true. Like,
They've got a
everyone
list
in You
somewhere.
Died is a fucking Eisner winner. Everybody.
That's right.
So, there you go. We only have to be lucky once, exactly. And you know what? I'm going to keep publishing forever. I'm going to keep publishing books. And now I make sure that I'm listed as editor-in-chief on all of them. So I'll still qualify. I'll get one. I'll fucking get one. Although every once in a while I do get like a hair up my beat. Have you ever submitted your webcomic for a webcomic Eisner essay?
Yes, I've done it every single year.
Oh, I've never done it because I just I feel bad about it. Like it needs to update more than it does for me to.
I don't know that I'm always like a little bit unsure about like the parameters of the webcomic category because it's like it has to be. For a long time I was like really convinced that you could only submit like a brand new comic, like it had to have come out that year. So like, as soon as your webcomic was 1 year old, like it wasn't eligible anymore. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like really convinced that those were the parameters, and I don't know why.
Those are the parameters for some awards. I don't know if it's specifically the Eisners, but some like smaller, more like comic centric, well, not comic centric, but indie centric ones do have like year cutoffs and stuff.
I think I'm lost in the YouTube world. How did I get here? Well, you probably clicked a link. Hello, Naxi. Nakati. Nessie. Hello. But yeah, everyone gets Eisner eventually. It's up to you. Am I supposed to be here? That's up to you. 45 minutes left to back, folks. We're gonna go look. How close are we? Okay, well, we got the first stretch goal. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
40, oh my God,
Yeah.
45 minutes. Holy shit.
Fuck shit up.
Yeah. So this is going to be how many fucking crowdfunds have I even done? Hold on. I don't even know anymore.
25.
I thought it was 40. I'm gonna bet 40.
You are correct. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we still have that little risks and challenges. The only reason we keep up with the risk and challenges section is that this is how I keep track of how many I
The only
do.
reason.
The only reason. Well, keep in mind.
Otherwise, I'm not interested. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, whenever you work with like marketing type people, one of their first questions is, "Okay, how many have you done?" And it's like, this is the same reason I started keeping a whatchamacallit, a spreadsheet on the totals for our crowdfunds because they also want to know how much you make. And I literally, for the first like 5 or 6 times I was asked, I was going back to Kickstarter and counting up the total with like a calculator. Just being like this many. And then thinking to myself, I should write this down somewhere and
Nah.
never doing so.
Nah.
Never doing it.
Why?
Because apparently I fucking hate myself. But not anymore.
Excuse me. I
No.
put lots of salsa on my nachos and now I'm sniffly.
But yeah, let that be a comfort to you, everyone. If you like comics and you stick around in comics long enough, you will eventually get an Eisner.
Well,
You'll
I
just
mean, and you
eventually.
have a lot of output too. I think
Yeah, well,
that's the
yeah,
output.
output
Yeah.
is important.
I think there's definitely some people who've like made a thing and then go,
Mhm.
okay, I'm coasting on this thing forever.
Mm-hmm.
I would like my Eisner now.
Yeah, or if understandably, every once in a while, people do quit the Eisners for rather not quit the Eisners, quit comics because quite frankly, everything on fucking Earth pays better than comics.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
even that, but like everyone retires eventually,
Yeah,
either because
but
you want to or because you have to.
every once in a while there'll be this like fetid comics darling, and you'll be like, they haven't put out a comic in a while. What happened? And it turns out, oh, they've been doing storyboards for Universal Studios for the past 15 years. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what happened to a lot of sort of the webcomic guys I really like the work of. Like they kind of just stopped putting out comics, and I'm like, what happened? And like, no, they Hollywood ate them. That's what happened. When I was in high school, one of my favorite fucking cartoonists was a guy named Rob Schraub, which is, that is his fucking government name, Rob
Rob
Schraub.
Schraub.
Rob Schraub. And he made a comic called Scud the Disposable Assassin. And I've been through this before, so I'll keep it short, but it's basically just about a robot that you bought from a vending machine that you could sick on somebody as an assassin that would self-destruct after it killed them. And of course, this is like, a dystopian future kind of setting comic. And Scud was a robot assassin. He was a heartbreaker model. I remember that very distinctly because I always thought that was so fucking clever that he was the heartbreaker model. And he realized he had actual sort of a Dakar self-awareness moment. He realized he was alive in the way a robot can be, and also realized that if he killed the person he was sicked on, he would immediately explode. And he did not want to explode. But the person he was sicked on ended up in a coma. They ended up in a vegetative state, needing extensive medical support that was very expensive. And so Scud still has to go out murdering and doing various odd jobs to pay the medical bills of the person he was sent to assassinate. Because if that person dies, he will blow up. And yeah, Rob Schraub was the first guy I became aware of whose work I really enjoyed, and then it stopped happening. And I was like, what happened? And Hollywood ate him. For some, and the thing is,
Every time you say Hollywood ate someone, it sounds like it was unwilling.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know what? I don't know how willing. Admittedly, I don't know Rob. I don't know how willing or unwilling this is. It's just one of those things. Like, was it a choice he made because he was all like, "Fuck this, I got bills," or was it a choice he made? It's like, oh God, I wish I could. This is my actual dream. I'm so glad I get to work in Hollywood. This has been the goal this whole time, but I don't know how he feels about it. It's kind of my adulthood when it comes to like cartoonists I really enjoy. My adulthood has been very weird because I am strangely adjacent to a lot of them, but I am not at all adjacent to Rob. I don't know him and he doesn't know me. Every once in a while I think I should talk to him, but I don't think I'd handle it well. He directed a bunch of TV and at least one movie. Yep. I think Space Bastard was the movie he put in. He made rather. He was also
Yeah, he is the co-founder of Channel 101.
Yeah. He's good buddy with Dan Harmon from the college days, so he probably doesn't mind, says Kristen Cheney. Yep. Yep.
Spike, I had remind me to tell you a story when we're done here.
Okay.
It is actually relevant.
I believe you.
Oh, Christ.
Relevant in a good way or a bad way?
It's not great.
What's
But
happening?
it's not about him. It's about something adjacent.
Is it Rob Schraub adjacent?
Yes.
All right. I'll believe you, and I'll wait.
Okay.
And it is
9:23.
38 minutes. 38 minutes. We have 5 people on the backer train. Everyone, choo choo. You have to imagine I'm saying it like the unicorns from Charlie the Unicorn.
No, don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. We don't have to keep bringing it back.
That's the date. That dates me real bad, doesn't it?
You're married.
Kind of.
It's Charlie the. By the way, you know that guy has a Kickstarter, right?
No, why would I know that? I don't know anything anymore. I live in a hole. I don't know anything going on ever anymore.
I'm just sort of like generally aware of what's going on in like animation and cartoons and comics kind of at all times. It's like the feed I've decided to give myself. And so yeah. And how to say this diplomatically. I have noticed a lot of people from early internet who were like really popular early internet type guys. A lot of them fucked off to Hollywood, and a lot of them are just back now. They're just kind of like whatever they saw they didn't like. There's a very narrow sort of throughput when it comes from online superstar to Hollywood ensconced, like there to stay, it feels like sometimes. And I wonder why that is on occasion. Yeah, Jason Steele, that's his name, Jason Steele, Charlie the Unicorn guy. God, even the humor feels very like of the period though. It's very aughts, whatever you want to call it. Very absurdist. Like a whole bunch of talking spatulas and stuff. It's very hamster dance. It's very hamster dance. It's very Weeble. It's very my spoon is too big, you know?
Vaguely. I know some of those.
You have to know hamster dance.
I said some of those. Yes, I do know hamster dance.
Okay.
I
have some signed Scud comics. That's cool, nudist. What happened to Jonan Vasquez? Oh yeah, he did get eaten by Hollywood. I have heard multiple stories about what happened to Jonan Vasquez, but my personal favorite, and don't like fucking take this as gospel. I don't know Jonan. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know anything about his life. But what I'd heard is he kind of spends his whole life living off the Hot Topic residuals of Invader Zim money. And his big thing, when this story was told to me, is these days he's the head of his WoW guild and arranges all the raids. And I like to think that's true, but I have no evidence. Especially since people who do work in comics and cartoons and Hollywood land, it's kind of rare for them to get happy endings like that. Because again, this is the whole I am plugged into certain feeds. Does anyone here watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I used to a lot.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, Master Shake is in heart failure, and he had like a GoFundMe going, and
What?
No, the
it's
voice
just,
actor, right?
yeah, the
Oh.
voice actor for not Master Shake. I'm sorry, Frylock. Frylock. Excuse me,
Oh, the voice actor
Frylock.
for Frylock. Well,
Yeah,
you
the voice
just said
actor.
Master Shake. You didn't even say voice actor. You just
Yeah, I know, but Master Shake. Frylock, the voice actor for Frylock had a GoFundMe because he was not doing great, and it was like it came on the heels of some other story about somebody who is like really well known to anybody who watched Adult Swim in the 2010s. He wasn't doing great either, and it's just so fucking rough out there. It's so rough.
Yeah.
It's miserable. Now I'm remembering Happy Tree Friends. Net Fisher, my deep dark secret of the week is I spent a lot of time this week watching Dr. Tran cartoons. A lot. And I do not recommend anyone go watch them because
don't know
Dr.
what that
Tran,
is.
imagine a little Vietnamese boy who lives in a rural village and a voice is haunting him insisting he is both a doctor and a movie star. So that's like the
You've
concept of
told me
Dr.
nothing. This is a cartoon. This
That's a
is
cartoon. It's a
okay.
little flash cartoon. And like I was watching them and I was all like, "Oh, these are funny. I wonder why no one watches these." Oh, that's why. Because occasionally they will say something super not okay. It's like, yeah, yeah, okay, I see why no one talks about these. But like,
Yeah, media from that
yeah,
era is pretty rough.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But there's this there's this like whole bit where there's a there's a little boy who is also a cough drop, Leland. He's just a imagine a cough drop, and it has
If
a
you
little ball
can imagine a
underneath
cough
it,
drop.
like the cough drop that's in the like the paper with the twisty ends, like a candy. Like imagine that, and it has a body on underneath it. So the cough drop is the head, and it is wearing water wings, like those orange floaty aids, all the time. And that is Leland the cough drop, and he's a
Is the
character.
cough drop head wrapped or unwrapped?
It is wrapped.
Okay,
Leland the cough
interesting.
drop's head is wrapped.
Interesting choice.
And, and Leland, and nudist says Leland loves his vapor trails. Yes, exactly. And Leland has a grandma who is psychotic and like kills lots of little boys, sometimes accidentally and sometimes not accidentally. And it's just it's very mm, it's really hard. And the thing is, I do not want you all to go watch this because a lot of the shit in there is just straight up unacceptable. But it's
Well, the
quite the
great thing
image.
is nothing you said made me want to watch it. So hey,
Like so imagine like a little like a 5-year-old boy sitting in a hut in the forest in Vietnam eating a pear, and suddenly this very uh movie trailer announcer voice says he is action, and the little boy kind of looks up and looks around and then goes back to eating, and he goes he is daring, and the little boy goes who is that? He's Dr. Tran. Are you talking to me?
like you don't want me to watch
Yeah.
it, but you are going to like walk me through it.
No,
We're gonna do a
I'm just trying to
play by
think.
play.
It's like the parts that are funny are really fucking funny, and it's just a wild thing to remember. Like this was kind of like the bleeding edge of animation. If you watch the credits, you're like, oh, because you see a bunch of familiar names, and like they definitely don't talk about Dr. Tran.
Yeah.
It's anyway.
Uh,
30
I
minutes
my
ago,
mind my mind is always kind of blown when like there are people that I remember from like the early internet, and then I haven't thought about them in years, and then I suddenly come across them and they're doing like something really like high profile and cool, and I'm always like, what? Where did
yeah,
that come from? You know,
yeah.
like I this is I feel really dumb admitting this, but for the longest time, I didn't realize that Andrew Hussey and Team Special Olympics were the same people. If you guys remember, do you guys remember that at all?
Nope.
That
It's
site,
okay.
Team
It's okay.
Special Olympics.
I am not aware of Team Special Olympics.
Are
Explain
you
it.
aware of Inappropriate Time for Ham?
No.
No.
No,
Oh, shit. Humanimals,
Okay.
Whistles
I
the
do not.
clown. Shit.
No.
Okay.
You are the
Inappropriate
first.
time. What?
I was saying you are the first we are hearing of it.
Oh, really? So I remember finding this site when I was like, maybe 15 or 16, and it had all these comments. And I think it was called Team Special Olympics, but there were like I think 3 different artists on there, and Andrew Hussey was one of them. But he went under the name Team Special Olympics, and he drew these comics. There's one called Inappropriate Time for Ham, and it was just like a 3-panel comic where something would happen, and then there would be like ham at the end, and it would cause something bad to happen. So like probably the most famous one is a 3-panel comic where you see like Dale Earnhardt's car. He's like a NASCAR guy who died in the early 2000s in a car accident. And so you see Dale Earnhardt's car from the outside, and then it cuts to the inside, and it's Dale Earnhardt just like chowing down on like a big picnic ham. And then the third panel is the car crashing into the wall.
No.
You've never seen that one? Oh, well, anyway.
Never seen it, but I love the sound of it.
Yeah, Andrew Hussey of Homestuck, he's like a really talented art. Like, I mean, Homestuck has good art in its own right, but like he's actually like a really talented cartoonist too, just like traditionally. And so like I didn't realize it took me a really long time to like connect that the two of them were the same person. I don't know. That's where that story was going. They're the same person, and I was surprised by that.
I've never heard of that, but I think that might be slightly after my time, You can't way back it. Wow, so they pulled it, huh?
Yeah, if you search for like inappropriate time for ham.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
the only non-Hussy thing I am aware of is Problem Sleuth, because I
Yeah.
will admit I went and I tried to read Homestuck, and
I
forgive me, the
never
grade
got through
violation.
Homestuck.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I gave
It's
it a
too
chance
long.
because I thought that was fair, but I couldn't do it.
No, why
Although
can't I find this comic? The
uh,
fuck?
I have very mixed feelings about audience directed media in general,
Yeah.
though. I understand the appeal, and I'm not sitting here telling anyone they shouldn't do it. They're not allowed. Don't interpret it like the shittiest way possible.
But I want to.
I know, right? Thank you, internet. But
My name's Amanda.
I I think that's not necessarily, I don't know, it's like I'm not impressed by the story results of audience directed media. And the best
Yeah.
way to describe
Same.
that is every once in a while someone will make like a webcomic and a scene will happen, and in that scene there's a big reveal. And the big reveal is, oh, I have been the evil prince this entire time. I am the Red Prince from Dragon Mountain, and you have put all your love and trust in me, and ha, I snatch the golden stone from your hand, and I throw you in the volcano, and you have to watch me ride the dragon back to Dragon Castle, and the last 500 pages, you got fucking played, son, something like that. And
I wouldn't have submitted my pitch if I knew you were going to read it on air.
someone in the comments will say something along the line of like, oh man, if I were him, I would have had the heroes snatch the golden stone back at the last minute and do a barrel roll and knock the red prince into the volcano, and the dragon would have dived down after him to grab him, and he would have perished in the magma as well. That's what I would have done. And all I can think is, well, good thing you're not the one writing it. It's just like what you want kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in
I've
your
been-
version of events.
I've been activated.
I
have a game
just
tomorrow.
because you like the story doesn't mean. And I'm sorry to bring this up. I know this is verboten, but it makes me think of the what do you even call them?
Oh, you're roboting for me.
Are you turning into a robot?
Harry who like really really wanted him.
Oh.
Oh fuck! Did you hear that?
I heard. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, it like sped up to catch up or something.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying, it's like the Harry Mayonnaise. You remember those people?
The what?
The people who really wanted Harry and Hermione to end up together.
No, I didn't know these people.
Yeah. There was this whole sort of like team of people who were like foaming, incensed because the Harry Potter books didn't end with Harry marrying Hermione. And there was a really, really active, before JK did her thing, there was a really active fanfic community that it didn't just describe itself as, haha, here's my fanfic, hope you like it, let me know what you think. It wasn't like that. It was literally, we are fixing Harry Potter. And it's like, a little intense. I understand the book's not going the way you want them to go, but a little intense, guys. It's that I think of that whenever I think of like, maybe the audience doesn't necessarily know what's best for the story, and I'm rarely impressed with stories that are audience directed.
Yeah.
Fair. Read another book, Spike.
I honestly, I don't like bringing it up because I know how she makes people feel, but it was the only example I
Bad.
could
The
think
answer
of.
is bad.
It's very,
Okay, we can talk about how she sucks.
I know. Yeah, she does fucking
Fine.
suck. It's just kind of wild. Like, we can absolutely change the subject, everyone. I'm sorry,
That would
but
be
it's
nice,
like it's just
but I don't
it's
mind.
yeah, it's kind of wild that you can track through her social media, like sort of the spiral into what she is now. And it's kind of there are entire YouTube videos of someone who like goes back like 5-10 years of her Twitter and just sort of like shows you the indoctrination in real time. It's fucking wild. It's crazy.
I feel like the first time it was really pointed out that like, hey, she liked some transphobic tweet. Like it was played off like, oh, old and she doesn't know how to use her phone, and so she accidentally liked that, and like that premise was dropped so fucking quickly.
Oh yeah, no more of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be wrong. I have accidentally definitely faved tweets, but it's like,
Oh, me too.
Do you remember in the day when we used to accidentally unfollow each other because it was just that easy to press that button?
Yes,
I would
absolutely.
accidentally follow and unfollow people all the time. I'd be like, who is this person I'm following? They're like a football person. Why?
Yeah.
And then I would be like, I haven't heard from so-and-so in like weeks. I sat on my phone and unfollowed them. Okay.
Yeah. One time I was running across the street with my phone
Oh,
in my
yes.
breast
Oh,
pocket
yes.
of
Oh,
my
yes.
jacket, and my left tit almost reported a friend's tweet because like, bam, 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 the phone is banging against the phone, and they all like by the time I got it out of my pocket, it was like, "Are you sure you want to report this tweet? Press here to continue." It's like, no, sinister tit, bad tit.
You always have one good tit and one evil tit. It's how it works.
The left tit.
Yep.
Like, it's like, what's his face? Fucking Tom Waits and Red Right Hand. No, not Tom Waits. Sorry, Nick Cave and Red Right Hand. It's like left hit. We have one person on the backer train. Someone should join them to keep them from being lonely.
I'm broke.
Yeah, don't make them sad. They're all by themselves.
Yeah, how could you? How could you do this to them?
You have 4 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on another character redesign. Well, not redesign, more of a tweak. Yeah. I'm working on the angry chinchilla now.
Oh God, are we talking about Sinfest? Holy shit!
Please don't. I will be honest. I can't. That is one where it's like I can't. I fell down that rabbit hole.
I understand.
It's infuriatingly frustrating.
I absolutely. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I can't handle that right now.
Like that
guy is on like I have like a list of like 10 subjects. I'm like I can't.
Yeah.
That's one.
I absolutely understand. I absolutely get it. I will not subject you to him.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's quite the spiral. It's all. It's fucking weird when you can see that. But yeah, new subject.
I'm drawing the character that I keep jokingly calling Claire's persona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
because she kind of looks like Claire. And she's just
Oh.
a really angry chinchilla.
I am drawing Ta, and this is the first time we see Ta topless. So I'm trying. My big thing right now is I'm wondering how hairy the little thing should be. Like calling it a slit feels dirty, but that's what it is. How hairy
It's
it
a
should be.
pouch.
It's a pouch, little because I've mentioned this before, but basically when marsupials give birth, it's oops, that's much too large. When marsupials give birth, it's to a little peanut that has like big strong arms like that. And the peanut crawls up the belly into the pouch. Like this happens with kangaroos, happens with
Oh, we got to
wombats,
see so
happens
many.
with
We got to see so many. Went to the Field Museum
uh-huh.
this past Saturday, and we got to see so many beans. They had like this a fetus exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
So many fucking beans.
So I was thinking like of course, like how much of that do I want to still be present in these upright anthropoid things? Like cuz
Well, do you want my input?
yes, very much so.
So I guess to me, like, uh, it would make sense that, like, probably, I don't know, they could probably be pretty little and pretty helpless. And they might not even need, like, those big, strong arm things to, like, crawl up because these are bipedal animals and they have, human like hands. They could just, like, pick them up and pop them in there.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
doesn't seem like they would need to crawl up.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the thing I keep thinking about is every other primate other than people when their babies are born, they have this massive reflexive grip. And this is so they can hold on to their parents' fur, basically, like their gorilla mom, their chimp mom, their bonobo mom, whatever, so they
Newborn
can hold.
babies still kind of have
Yeah, they
that. They're not
do.
very
Yeah, yeah,
strong, but they will grab. Right away.
yeah, but it doesn't like lock in like the way it does with like chimps and stuff. And the
Sure. Yeah.
reflex actually does fade after a while. Whereas in, other primates, it's there from day one and kind of stays because if it didn't, they'd die. They'd fall off and die. And I was thinking to myself, if humans can lose the reflexive grip, maybe these guys can lose their big strong forearms as jelly beans because if you are anthropoid big brained giving birth to a jelly bean, if the jelly bean is having a hard time getting to your pouch, you are going to reach down and grab that jelly bean and put it in your pouch. So any natural selection against that is going to be nullified anyway
I mean, it does
because you're
seem to
not
follow the human thing of like to have more big-brained babies. They gotta be way more helpless. Need way more help.
Yeah.
exactly
Just like a
exactly
blob that lays there and cries.
yeah. And of
I've
course
had
this
one.
is
I know.
a blob. Of course, this is sort of leading into all kinds of things because one of the big fun things about the world building with Placata is if there is not placental birth, and birth is not the ordeal it is for them like it is for placentals. Like people probably do it in public.
They just
they
like
probably
reach down and they're like, "Oh, there it is. Pop it
like
in."
yeah, it's like there's probably an audience. It's probably a big thing. You don't even have to get naked for it. It's just it's like it's a jelly bean. You just pop it out, and and it goes in, and everyone's like, "Yay!"
You
Is
could
that
probably even
something
do it
that?
and no one would know. It's kind
Yeah,
of
you can just do it real discreetly.
it's basically up to your discretion if anyone even knows.
Exactly? And I just have all these thoughts, and it's fun to think about, and that's like 90% of the motivation for making them marsupial because I want to think about how that would change a society. So. We're essentially neotenists, though we are born premature for apes because of our enormous heads. Yeah, exactly, nudist. We couldn't stay in any longer, or birth would be impossible.
Well, that and it was also being bipedal. It's a
Also,
combination of the two.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes left on Rigsby, everyone. Oh, nope, 14. Just turned over to 14. It's
You're
really
running
awesome.
out of time.
You're
Get
running out
on
of
it.
time. You have a chance to ground floor this book, and when it wins a fucking Eisner next year for best newcomer or what have you, and you can be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that book. Yeah, I knew all about that book. I mean, it's nice that it won, so people like you could learn about it. But those of us who keep our ear to the ground, we know about the real excellence before you have to be told by an award show.
That's right.
You can be a total piece of shit about it.
God
It'll be
damn it.
great.
Yeah. It'll give you an opportunity to be a piece of shit,
Yeah.
which is what everybody wants.
And you have to take those opportunities wherever you can find them. God, that is so Gen X though, isn't it? Oh, I'm the only Gen Xer here. Fuck. Old.
Yeah, I'm a
But
Yeah.
millennial.
I'm a millennial.
yeah, I am.
I like avocado toast
I do. I
and not
do.
having a mortgage.
I'm
I love
extremely young
it.
Gen X. My husband and I are like, I guess people have like, there's people call them Zennials because it's like we were the very, very tail end of Gen X, but we're also the very, very oldest of the millennials. So it's, yeah, I mean, I guess so. Because there are both millennial and Gen X things I can sympathize with and jive with. So I guess that's appropriate. Zennial is appropriate.
I mean, it's not a hard divide, and like you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's. It's not like you're different animals.
No. 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 Eldritch millennial here. Why? Nudist, are you like 42 or something? I hate that term. Yeah, but the thing is, Gen X feels really appropriate because it really does seem like we got passed over in a lot of ways. Like Gen Xers should be the primary, in my opinion, they should be the primary politicians now. They should be like the primary business leaders now. They should be all those things because they're in that age group, but they're not. And it's just,
Boomers can't let go of shit.
yeah, yeah, and Xers are just like not doing the things that boomers were doing at their ages. And Warren Buffett is like he's like 93 and he's still running his company. The president is like what? Like fucking 83? It's just one of those things I noticed. Was like there are no Gen Xers doing anything. Anyway. Just say middle aged, have some dignity. No, those terms are useful because I'm talking about a specific 15-year span. I know that people like to use those terms to like pit people against one another, and obviously that use is very bullshit. But when I'm talking about like a very specific kind of generational experience, saying things like millennial, Zoomer, Gen X are actually pretty useful. Middle aged could apply to all kinds of people. It's not as useful. 11 minutes left, everyone. I did a very Gen X thing and bought the Mudhoney box set that dropped on records. Wow, that Mudhoney! Holy shit! You're gonna put it next to your Toadies album and your Toad the Wet Sprocket album?
Y'all are saying wizard words.
Holy shit. It's gonna go next to your Fugazi vinyl. Fucking dying. Can't even talk shit. I like all that stuff.
I'm trying to do that thing where you don't look at references for a character you haven't seen in a while, and you just try to draw them from memory and see what actually sticks, because that must have been what you liked.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, one of the things that I have the hardest time with, and Essie, maybe you can relate, you also make long format comics, is looking at like page 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, and then looking at the page you're working on, and it's the same character, and you just kind of want to fucking die. You're like, oh god, look how bad I drew them.
I want people to buy this book that we're crowdfunding right now. So I don't want to say anything bad about it, but yeah. And I've had to be promoting it for the past, several months. So,
Looking at how old is the artwork work blah in book 1 of Rigsby right now?
I did that in 2018, and I mean, not only was it in 2018, so it was like 6 years ago. I I also had not drawn a single comic in 6 years when I started working on it. So it was not only, was it a long time ago, but I was like super rusty when I was drawing it. But I mean, when I really look at it, I think it looks fine. Like there's a certain charm about it, but just like compared to like what I can do now, I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Why didn't I just try a little bit harder?
I am going to inflict some self-harm right now, and I'm going to show everyone. This is what Bettany looked like. Not Bettany, sorry. This is Eki. This is what Eki looked like on page 2 of Placata. And this is what Eki looks like now. And I just look at that. I just go back and forth, and I'm just like, you know what would be smart? Deleting pages 1 through 25 from the fucking internet.
Oh, but they look fine.
They look fine.
Yeah.
It's very obviously the same character.
Yeah.
Bad. It's like I didn't know how to fucking draw him at all. It's kind of extraordinary.
I mean, I can see a difference.
Yeah, I see a difference, but it's clearly the same character.
I don't think it detracts at all. Because I mean, and it's not as though people are reading that first page and then are immediately jumping to a page that you did 5 years later. Yeah, so the change is like gradual, and it doesn't start off bad by any means. Like it starts off great and it gets better. So like I don't think anybody would care.
He fits in with everything else on the page. Like the point is, like if he was drawn drastically different than everyone else, it'd be a problem. But like he fits into the page, and by the time your readers get to the current page, they'll have flipped through the transition pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you're both saying is absolutely reasonable, and I'm a thoroughly unreasonable person.
I know. I'm about. You know what? No, I'm not making rules.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'm not going to restart. I'm not going to redraw. I promise. Right. Basically, what I tell myself
I'm
these
digging
days
that crunchy
is,
brush, Amanda. Thank you. I don't know what the brush is called. I downloaded it, and it has a Japanese name, and I can't read it.
It is a nice brush, though.
I was admiring it as well.
Yeah.
It's oh, that's right. It won't. Let me open the settings. Will it show the settings? No. Of course.
Well, Spike, if you want to see a comic that starts off shitty, read some 2007 era cheap thrill.
Oh, I refuse to believe it starts off shitty because it's by you.
Oh God.
I love your fucking work, Essie. That is what I talk about all the time. The only hurdle to get over at Iron Circus, if you want to get published here, is do I like it?
Yeah.
And if you are being published, it's because this is me poisoning comics with my personal taste. That's all this company is. That's all it's.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
It's just like, I every once in a while I'll say something on like Blue Sky that's like, man, if I were 10 years younger, I would have just had a Patreon and I'd still be doing my old webcomic. I wouldn't be running Iron Circus. And somebody who has known me for a very long time and follows me is all like, that's bullshit. And that's bullshit because you would have still wanted more of the kind of comics that you like and wanted to read in the world, and you would have done it anyway. If you were 10 years younger, there'd still be an Iron Circus. That's bullshit. You're full of shit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Yes, I'm a liar. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. Early 2K questionable content. Oofa doofa. Yeah. If Spike likes it, it goes to print. That is the truth, Kristen Cheney. 5 minutes left. You have 5 minutes to back Rigsby.
Get on it.
It'll be great. When it becomes a Netflix series, you can write EK mean emails about how you liked her better before she sold out.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not EK Weaver, Spike.
Oh fuck! Sorry. I don't know why that came out.
I mean, thank you. It's flattering.
EK, it happens.
I love you both. Yeah, you can write SC and be like, I liked you better before you sold out, before you got the Netflix show. Now you.
I don't think I would want it to be made into a Netflix show.
Amazon Prime?
I mean, I don't know. No, Hulu. Definitely not Amazon Prime.
HBO Max. It'll air after Euphoria.
Oh, I don't know.
You said air? after
How?
Euphoria?
Oh, the
That's not how that works.
I'm
Get
old.
on Max and you can air after Euphoria.
Go get me my cable box and the bunny ears for the television set.
I want the TV guide. I want to see when Euphoria is on.
So fucking old. I'm sorry.
I'll forgive you.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. We're about to hit the second countdown, everyone. I'm gonna actually put that on screen. Let's see if I can do that. I'm gonna see if I can't put this on screen. There you are, Slack. Okay. I'm going to change windows. And is this it? I don't know if this is it. I think this is it. Go with this.
Are you struggling with the technology?
There
Oh, there it
There
is.
it is.
Figure
I see
out
it.
which panel. I have Rigsby open in multiple tabs. I'm trying to figure out which tab is the one I want to show. So there we go. 3 minutes left, everyone. Elder abuse. Yes, this is fucking elder abuse. You're all abusers.
Okay.
Prove it.
I'm just gonna have picture just me like lying in the bathroom wedged between the toilet and the tub, and you're just gonna like leave me there and laugh.
Someone's removed your life alert bracelet.
Like, help me! I know, and you rush over to Iron Circus and begin publishing like fucking garbage that I hate. And you're like, too late, Grandma. It's all superhero zombies from here down. Like,
You think me and Amanda would publish garbage that you hate? Superhero zombies? How dare you?
I mean, Spike does not. I have some ideas I know Spike doesn't enjoy, so maybe.
Superhero zombies, though.
But not those.
when are you gonna give me Toxic Witches, Amanda?
When I'm done with Starry Night and all the
Ooh,
other
yeah,
shit I
Toxic
gotta
Witches.
do.
See, he likes it too. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm not
I want it.
disagreeing, but Starry Night has to get finished first. And I'm still in the thick of it.
Oh god.
Amanda, are you,
Oh, we're in the seconds.
Ooh,
We're in the
ooh.
seconds.
Seconds.
Yes. Seconds. We're at 84 seconds, 83, 82, 81. You are approaching the last minute you can back Rigsby, everyone. The very last minute. How
Get it.
exciting.
Get it.
Get it. Who wants to be the last backer of Rigsby, Wisconsin Volume 1?
you can do it.
You can get
Come
it
in
right now
last.
if you hurry. If you hurry, you have 60 seconds. But yeah, more than 200% funded. Congratulations on the successful crowdfund, Essie.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. Kind of disappointed my posters aren't going to get made, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's all right.
There's always
I was-
next time because
I know.
there's-
I was pretty proud of that
Yeah.
design that I did. But
hang on to it because we may have use for it yet. 30 seconds.
oh, I will.
30 seconds. I hope it does a confetti pop. I don't remember if Backer Kit has that enabled yet. 22.
It gets to 0 and it shuts down your computer.
I know, right? Get the fuck.
Blue screens.
Get out.
Yeah.
Too late.
10 seconds. And it's
Dunzo.
ended. Okay, and there's no confetti. Confirmed.
Fuck you, Backer
But
Kit. Come
thank
on.
you everyone for 562 backers with over $11,000, over 200% funded the first volume of Rigsby, Wisconsin. This not only makes sure that the book gets to exist in a format that it deserves, but it will be on bookshelves, in libraries, available in perpetuity from bookshop.org and Amazon and ironcircus.com, and maybe a future app.
Oh.
So yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are all a national treasure.
Yeah, this is a fantastic result, and we are now, or we being Iron Circus, is now 40 for 40 crowdfunds. We ain't had a dud yet. And we owe it
Hell
all to
yeah.
you. We appreciate that very much, folks. And it is 10 o'clock, and that means that is when we typically end the stream. SC, do you have any conclusions or outros or links to tell us about before we shut things down?
Well, just thanks to everybody who backed. It's really awesome. I'm very excited to see this in print. You can read Rigsby, Wisconsin at rigsbywi.com. You can subscribe to my Patreon, which is also Rigsby WI, where you can get early Rigsby pages, and also I'm completing Cheap Thrills, which is the web comic that was sort of the predecessor to Rigsby, Wisconsin. It has maybe about a year of comics left to it, maybe 6 months to a year. You can also find me on Blue Sky at SE Case. What else? I have a book. I have another book coming out at the end of May 25th. It's called Thanks, Romina. And I illustrated that for Julie Spaziani. And it's kind of an office comedy about this young woman who goes to LA to pursue her dream career after she gets out of college. She gets a job at a pre-production or post-production company, and she thinks it's going to be really glamorous, and then it kind of turns out to be shitty. So you can pick that up May 25th or pre-order it. It's called Thanks, Romina. And I think that's it.
And I'm Amanda Lafrene. My link is in the description. It links to my temporary hub website that links to all my socials and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's about it.
Hi, I'm Spike. I run and own Iron Circus Comics, Iron Circus Animation, and Iron Circus Games. You can find all of that, well, most of that, well, part of that, on ironcircus.com. Please forgive us, the website is currently being redone. As for me personally, what's up? I am posting pretty much exclusively on Blue Sky these days. You can find me there at Iron Spike, all one word, all put together, all lowercase. The comic you have been watching me draw is called Blokada. It's about Fievel Mouskowitz and some Keebler elves in the Russian Revolution.
Stop
You
lying
should
to
check it out.
people.
They keep Takis in their pouches.
They keep talkies in their pouches underneath their tap-out shirts. You should watch it. You should read it. It's about 53 pages long so far. I'm working on the next page. You can just go to blokada.com. When you put that in, though, make sure it's HTTP, not HTTPS, because it's just a forwarding link. So http://blokada, BLIKADA.com. Yeah, other than that, Iron Circus is my baby, my whole life, my only child, the only one I will ever have. IronCircus.com on the internet, Iron Circus, all one word, on Blue Sky, Iron Circus Comics with an X on the other site, Bird Machine, formerly. You can find us at Iron Circus on Facebook as well, and we are Iron Circus on Instagram. All are updated regularly. We were going to have a TikTok, but I guess it's illegal now. So we're going to wait and see how that turns out before we put in the effort. Thank you, everyone.
Nobody needs a TikTok anyway.
Please remember to like the stream and subscribe. If you hit the little bell, you will get a notification every time we have a geek show. And that would be great if you could come and watch us. These are really fun and cozy, and I always have a great time. Thank you for joining us, Essie.